Reincarnated as a wolf god. Chapter 7, Side Character. That's impossible, Izaak stated firmly, his words cutting through the chatter ignited by Guard's remarks. He approached Guard closely and whispered, "After you've escorted the princess, return home and get some rest. What you witnessed was likely due to fatigue. I mean, just look at yourself." Understanding his captain's message, Guard hastily nodded, his agreement clumsily conveyed. "Ah, yes. I've been pushing myself too hard, ha ha ha. I must have been experiencing illusions due to my exhaustion." Guard's loud voice reverberated throughout the hall as he hurriedly departed. As the captain of the Imperial Knights, Izaak had many duties. One is to dispel any rumor or information that could cause harm to the Empire or the Imperial family. If rumors spread that the cold-hearted Emperor has softened up, our neighboring kingdoms would see this as a weakness, and I must keep that from happening. Izaak thought as he stared with a suspicious gaze toward the section of the hall where the nobles were gathered. It's been 10 years since the Emperor conquered all of the north, but there was still insurrection happening from time to time. As the head of the Imperial Knights, he would set out to stamp them out, but in recent years, the frequency of this uprising skyrocketed. And he couldn't wrap his head around how the rebels' numbers increased in a short time. He couldn't help but wonder if these rebels could fund their uprisings because someone was helping them. A week ago, he received a report from spies in Coplay. The rebels have gathered over 200 men. They possess armor and weapons that they never had before. Which surprised him, because it was different from the uprisings he dealt with before, where the rebels used pitchforks, hoes, and other farming tools. So, how did they get their hands on armor and weapons? He wondered. "Captain, the vice-captain is here." The words of a knight jolted him out of his thoughts. Then he turned towards the entrance of the hall where he sees his vice-captain, Kane, who walked behind a lady with a silvered-haired baby in her arms. Who is the lady beside Kane? Certainly, she is not a maid. Izaak could tell at a glance, as the lady wore a dress that is the latest trend among aristocratic women. Why is she doing a maid's job? Then again, she could just be the princess nanny, and wanted to accompany her to the hall before handing her to a maid. Izaak thought in his mind. But to his surprise, she did not hand the child over to a maid but walked towards the bridge leading to the altar with gusto. Even though the sacrifice was an unspoken rule among the aristocrats, it was common sense taught to all aristocratic children before they set foot in the palace. So, to see someone go in after knowing this boggled Izaak. "Sir, I heard you were looking for me," Kane asked as he walked toward Izaak. He nods in reply before saying, "Kane, why did you not stop that lady? You know that any female other than those of the imperial blood who step on that bridge is certain for death." Izaak said, "I tried, but she didn't listen, and said some weird words." Kane replied immediately with an unconcerned expression. "Weird words?" Captain Izaak asked as he cocked his head, with a confused and curious expression. Kane nodded in reply. "Yeah," she said, "you are just a side character, don't stop me from meeting my hubby, dot." Kane recounts Liliana's words. After hearing the strange words, Izaak could only stare in incomprehension. What does this side character and hubby mean? Izaak asked Kane with a confused and curious expression, as they were strange words that he had never heard before. "I don't understand what they mean either, might be some new words created by the aristocratic ladies," Kane replied, with an unsure expression. On the bridge leading to the naming altar. Sliver hair and blood-red eyes. Sliver hair and blood-red eyes. Liliana kept repeating the description in her head. That was the description of her favorite character in the novel she loved, Tyrant King. It was a novel she read over 8 times because she was head over heels for the main character. Kaya. I can't believe my hubby is waiting for me at the end of this bridge. Liliana squealed with delight, her voice echoing through the seemingly endless bridge. Sound is isolated on the bridge. Knowing the bridge isolated sound, due to her knowledge of the novel, she continued, assured that only the baby heard her enthusiastic cries. With determination, Liliana continued her brisk stride toward her hubby on the other side of the bridge.